Hi, I'm Mark Hamilton.
And I'm Rob Sanders with one question.
Can you adapt? So, Rob, we're here in 2009, right? And what is the primary way that people make phone calls?
Cell phones, everybody's using
Yeah,
cell
definitely
phone. So what I want to know is, we know people are adapting forward. Could we go back to the technology we used 20 years ago?
So, Rob, what are we going to do for this experiment?
Let's take people today, 2009,
Okay.
and we'll try to revert them back and give them a chance to see, could they survive even 20 minutes without their cell phone?
This will be fun.
You might remember how to use a regular phone, but many of the freshmen here in this college dormitory practically grew up using cell phones. It's the perfect place to try our social experiment.
Okay, so I'm here with Eric and Mike, and we're ready to see if they can adapt. Here's Eric's cell phone and Mike's cell phone. How many times a day would you say you use these?
I don't know,
Average
10 maybe.
Twice. I don't have texting, so I use it a lot less.
Okay. What would happen if we took these away from you for a half hour?
Probably nothing.
Half hour is not long enough.
For the purposes of this experiment, we're going to take it away from you for a half hour and see if you can perform the same things that you need to do with a cell phone on a regular basis. We're going to see if you can call your mom, call your friend. So I'll hold on to these and we're going to follow you guys around and see if you can do it.
All right.
So off we go. 2 young adults, 2 phone calls each. One to mom, another to a neighbor. 4 calls and only 20 minutes. But for Eric, just knowing what numbers to dial is the hard part.
Am I allowed to use Facebook and stuff?
Eric's lost one modern gadget, so he jumps straight to another. We'd call it cheating, but we didn't say he couldn't. So while Eric waits for his mother to receive the message and to write back, Mike is already diving into his closet.
Recorders in here, secret stash. So, since I can't use the numbers on my cell phone's memory, I have my word list. And since I can no longer make long distance calls for free, I have these quarters.
Now armed with his technology from the 1990s, Mike marches outside to the payphone, while Eric heads much farther away for his solution.
Okay, so that was unsuccessful. It was a local call. I'm not really sure if they want like the full 9 digits. They didn't even try. This is unexpected, admittedly.
So while Mike fights with the payphone, Eric drops in on his only friends that still have a landline phone.
What are you doing?
Using your phone? That's like broken.
Now Eric is finding out that he has the same problem that Mike has.
Dang it. Oh, I got it. Okay. I don't know if I have to do area code or 9 or anything.
Sure, edit that out.
I have no idea. I think I do 19. Dang it. What the heck? I swear I've done this before.
Finally, Eric gets a little help from his friend.
People dial 9 to get out, and then the area code.
Okay, look at me. Something just happened, but it's not going through. I don't even know how to do it. I was not able to adapt. I got completely owned by this phone.
As Eric resigns himself to Alexander Graham Bell, Mike is having better luck.
Hey Wes, this is Mike. How's it going? Thanks, Wesley. Have a good day. See ya. Bye. Okay, 1 local call down, 1 long distance to go. It's probably top. Oh, okay.
For Mike, 1 call down, 1 to go.
Okay, now I'm gonna try and call my mother on her cell phone because it's free for her that way. However, I think it'll require more than $1. I'm really not an expert at payphones, obviously, so we're gonna find out. It's really scratchy. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. So we'll do just that. Yeah, no, it's not working.
At least Mike made one of his calls. So far, Eric hasn't been able to make any. He thinks he'll have better luck using the payphone.
I've only used a payphone like once in my life. It was like 10 years ago. Before I got a cell phone, I would like pride myself with knowing numbers and being able to just take them out of my head because other people couldn't because they would have a cell phone. But now I have a cell phone and I forgot them all. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
And now, the moment of truth.
I don't even know if it works. It works. All right.
Not even Eric's local call is working out for him.
Stop. Listen for tone. I got it. Deposit coins. There's a coin. There's a coin. It says 50 cents, so that should be good.
But not even the directions help. Eric can't make a single call.
Failure.
Okay, guys, how'd it work out?
I'm not as good as planned.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna work, but
So, out of 2 phone calls, how many were you able to make without a cell phone?
0.
0. How many were you able to make with your cell phone?
Both, 100%.
Okay, how about you, Mike?
I got the local call in, but I couldn't call long distance without calling collect, and I don't have a phone card because I have a cell phone. Had it been an emergency, I think I might have been able to figure it out, but it's an eye-opener not having a cell phone for 20 minutes.
As we are becoming more dependent on cell phones to make our phone calls, we may soon find we're dependent on the internet. Some are saying the future of phone calls are Voice over Internet Protocol, or VoIP. A lot of offices already use these type of phones, including the office.
This morning, the phone guy comes in, and he shows Michael that our phones have a PA function. And then he just left.
This is your captain speaking. The office will be flying at an altitude of 2 stories. Look out your left-hand window and you will see Vance Refrigeration.
Some internet providers are allowing people to make unlimited long-distance calls for small monthly rates, and these phones are starting to go wireless. In the coming decade, we may see them challenge cell phones for our portable phone calls. The catch? If these phones lose their connection to the internet, they don't work. No internet, no phone.
Still to come, your iPod is as much a part of a car ride as your wallet. But could you adapt back to the way music used to be? We'll find out as Can You Adapt continues.
Okay, Mark, so in 1989, 20 years ago, if you're driving across the desert, and there's no radio stations, what would you listen to?
No radio station. I guess audio cassettes. Maybe CDs weren't very common.
They were in their infancy, you know, as their late 80s. But the question is today, as everyone drives across the desert, even if they have satellite radio, what do they listen to?
Their iPods. The cars come standard with a jack to plug in your MP3 player now.
So we've adapted forward. The big question is, could we adapt back?
This is Elena and Ben. They work for the same company, have the same home state, and soon they hope to have the same last name.
This is my iPod Nano. I got it senior year of high school.
My Sony CD Walkman DEJ001, and this is my CD case.
It's a collection worthy of an iPod, a la 1995.
I don't know, they're just so personal. Like, there's something really interesting and cool about putting a CD into a CD player and having to change it out and things like that, as opposed to having everything on just a little device.
No, I would never go back to a CD player.
You got all the hookups for your iPod in the car. You got all the CD player and everything you need to
I got a
jam out
hookup.
the car. Well, I want you both to go for a ride with your music and try to listen to your favorite songs. Sound good?
And off we go. Will Elena be able to groove to yesterday's tunes as easily as Ben adapts forward? It's off to the cars.
Do you want to get in the passenger seat?
I don't know, it just feels so impersonal, like this little thing as opposed to all the CDs.
Headphone jacks haven't changed that much, so Ben has no trouble plugging in. Not the case for Elena.
This is why it's not going to work, because this connects into the iPod jack. So this CD does not have a jack for that, so it can't even play.
If this experiment's going to continue, they're going to have to make a switch.
Okay, let's turn this puppy on. Is that mine?
This is, if you put it on 87.9 radio station, it should work.
87.9?
87.9, yeah.
But things aren't so slick with Elena's shiny iPod.
Takes a while to figure out how to turn this thing on. It's on hold.
So this is where this goes, right here.
Babe, how does it turn on?
And then you see the headphone thing right here? This is where you plug this in. Now, this thing is so broken that Ben had to get a hair tie and put it around so that it would work.
There we go. It apparently is on. That's all it takes, just this little box apparently.
So now, loaded with hours of MP3s and CDs to match, they hit the road.
I suppose our cars also represent our choice in electronics. My car's big and clunky and hers is small and sleek.
And Elena doesn't seem to like
Listen to
clunky.
another one. I have to pick the CD player up, look at it, and figure out where the track is, which is right here.
So are CD players more dangerous than iPods?
Like when I put in a CD, that's basically what I'm gonna listen to. Whereas an iPod, it's really easy to switch between songs and tracks, and so you're gonna wanna do it a lot more. I think it's a little bit more unsafe for driving.
But you realize I have to hold this the whole time, and it's bulky, and so I can only have one hand on the wheel, which kind of sucks. Like, Ben can't even put it in his holder. Like, it doesn't work. He has to put it on the ground. So it skips a lot. He always has problems with it.
See, I think with an iPod, it increases the temptation of switching between songs. Like, everyone that I know that has iPods always switches a ton. Elena definitely is representative of that group.
But Ben isn't so innocent himself.
Sam's really distracted by this thing. Like, it's really easy to keep looking at the screen as opposed to look at the road.
You know, I mean, I love Ben, and we're getting married, and he would have an iPod if he could afford it.
This begs the question, would an iPod make a good gift?
The sound quality's not much better than my CDs, so that's definitely not gonna be a factor in whether I want to get an iPod. The only factor would be convenience. Like, size-wise, this contains everything.
Looks like a Gutenberg Bible.
Now, telling each other how it went.
Sure. Do you like most of my music?
So she's got in here is Backstreet Boys and girl music.
No. Did you just look for your music?
I did mostly look for my music.
Hey, so how'd it go?
It was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't that difficult.
So the iPod went well adapting to the new technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about adapting back to the old technology? How did that go for you?
You know, honestly, like, it really wasn't that big of a deal because I still got to listen to the music I wanted to listen to. The hardest thing, though, is trying to search through this album to find the music that you want to listen to.
But CDs really aren't the old technology. Not long ago, jukeboxes were the iPod of the day, and Scott Combs knows all about them.
160 records at roughly 2 or 3 minutes apiece. So if you wanted to play them all, you'd be here quite a while. That was it, and it's rather big. You didn't take it to people, people came to you to listen to it.
He says vinyl sounds warmer than CDs do.
The records were just still way cool, but if you look, it's a bit of a storage problem. You got all this stuff. You got to keep it separated. You got to keep it. The biggest thing is you got to keep it from warping. And if it gets hot, it's going to bend. If it bends, it's not going to play.
Coming up, if Scott lost his iPod, he could still rock out to his jukebox. But what happens when we take away his TiVo?
We'll find out as Can You Adapt continues.
Scott Combs loves his TiVo.
Plus you got this, which you can pause it, and the best part is I can go right through the parts that are stupid.
But he also talks about a time when things were hard.
See, you don't remember that. We had a TV with a dial. You had to get up and click and go sit down. Did I want that? No. Get up, click.
But could he still get local channels if a storm knocked his TiVo out?
Yeah, I could watch TV the old way. I don't have a problem with it. It's just so much nicer to not be chained to the TV because I got to get home because the football game's on.
How would you watch March Madness?
You wouldn't. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, this is what we'll get. I could probably play a movie. But I can't plug the cable into the back of the TV?
No, it's the cable's out. You plug the cable in, still doesn't work.
Okay, cable's out, I'm in real trouble. And I can't run my computer either, so yeah, This would be it on many levels, I'm afraid. Well, plus it was so hard to hook it all up, I'd never remember how to do it. Totally hosed, you guys.
So you would say without TiVo, and especially without your cable hookup, if there was a disaster and you had to get your emergency information from the TV,
I'd get it from the radio.
For all the advancement we've made, cell phones, Wi-Fi, iPods, TiVo, and the internet, when times get tough, it may end up being century-old radio we all end up tuning into.
So as you buy your next gizmo, stop and ask yourself, if I lose this, can I adapt?